right, 8:39 is your time. There are some exciting things happening in Cartersville right now, including the development of a new art walk in the historic downtown area.
The art walk will include 3 sculptures, the first of which will be officially unveiled this afternoon. Good day, Atlanta's Paul Milliken is live outside Cartersville City Hall this morning. And Paul, there's a fascinating backstory behind all of these beautiful artwork.
Yeah, there really is, and I love this sculpture. It came out beautifully. By the way, just before we went to break, when I was doing my little teaser, did you guys hear the train whistle going by? Here's a tip to everybody out there. You cannot do a live report in Cartersville without a train going by. It will happen. It doesn't matter how you try to time things out. That train is going to go by.
But of course.
It's part of the charm of downtown Cartersville, for sure. And there really is such an interesting history, not just to this whole area here in North Georgia, but specifically to downtown Cartersville. And that's where this sculpture comes in. Now, it's brand new. It was done by a Polish immigrant who's actually a U.S. citizen now, and it was commissioned by the African American Quilt Documentation Project of Bartow County. Now, think about that for a minute. The African American Quilt Documentation Project. When I first read that, I wasn't really sure exactly what that meant. So we interviewed some members of the group, and we learned the backstory of this sculpture. Check it out. It's hard to miss the train in downtown Cartersville. It passes through here all the time and makes plenty of noise. But there's another railroad important to the history of this area, one that could only run in complete silence.
It's a hidden story. This was not something that was known by all, and it wasn't supposed to be, because that's how the Underground Railroad was successful.
A secret network led by people like Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad helped African American slaves escape to freedom. It's the inspiration behind this new sculpture in front of City Hall. Pathways to Freedom, a story in every stitch, features quilt patterns that some believe were actually secret road signs for the dangerous journey.
The quilts were made by the slaves that did all the sewing for the plantation. She took the scraps and made them into these symbols. The symbols were like a wagon wheel, which indicated that a wagon would be around soon. You had another one for the North Star that says, just follow the North Star, one symbol per quilt. And they were usually hung out in plain view so everybody could see it. There was no dry cleaning back in the day, so you had to hang them out.
There you go.
To air them out.
Right.
Pathways to Freedom was commissioned by the African American Quilt Documentation Project of Bartow County, and once it's officially unveiled, will be part of a new Cartersville Art Walk, along with 2 other sculptures.
We've been working for 6 years to make people more aware of the art in our community. This is actually what we hope is the beginning of a county-wide arts in Bartow. As we say on our little task force, you can't have Bartow without art.
But for the members of the AAQDP, this sculpture is about much more than fine art. It's about shining a light on the incredible courage of men and women who once risked everything for freedom.
Slaves unable to read and write, but the stitch itself and the coordination and the togetherness of it let them know that they could arise and they could become free and they could do something for themselves. And that's why we're here today, to let all generations, everyone, every man, woman, boy, or girl, every race, creed, denomination, let them know that you can succeed in this world.
So now you know. So there is the backstory of this beautiful sculpture. Again, it will be unveiled officially later on this afternoon in a big ceremony. Everybody is invited. It's right here in front of City Hall. That's the building behind us here. Meanwhile, later on this weekend, there's going to be another event where the other 2 sculptures are officially unveiled. Those are done by a local sculptor. Those are actually already up here as well. So I've posted a few pictures of those on my Twitter page, and you can check those out. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys have been to downtown Cartersville lately, but just a little tip. There is so much going on down here. A lot of really good restaurants, got some coffee shops, a lot of arts here in downtown Cartersville. So it's a good time to come visit, check out the new sculptures. And Buck, I hear there's a couple of good burger joints down here in Cartersville. So folks are waiting for you. Okay?
You've heard correctly. I had one word of advice for you. Please do not play or climb on the sculpture. There's a sign right behind you there, okay? And that sign was specifically for you, I know.
They put that up just for me.
Just for you. Leave it alone. Just look at it, okay?
Paul.
right.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks,
Beautiful
Paul.
sculptures, beautiful
Keep my
stories.
distance.
Yeah, definitely part of the fabric of America. Well, Pathways to Freedom, a story in every stitch, will officially be unveiled this afternoon at 2. The ceremony will take place just outside of Cartersville City Hall at 10 North Public Square.
And coming up tomorrow morning.